WWE needs to end the Bloodline Saga. What's the main event of WWE Survivor Series 2025? Randy Orton is headed for a heel turn. Dani Palmer and Mandy Rose fight for who started the WWE-to-OnlyFans trend. Mustafa Ali's TNA contract is set to expire. Andrade shuts down a seriously scary rumor. Why John Cena's final match isn't sold out yet. The Rock doesn't matter anymore. The ship has sailed. AJ Lee confirms major appearance amid her WWE absence. Braun Strowman breaks silence on his real-life issue with Paul Heyman. Let's dive right in, starting with, what's the main event of WWE Survivor Series 2025? With WWE Survivor Series 2025 set for November 29th at Petco Park in San Diego, California, the match card is still taking shape, but Triple H's creative team is laying the groundwork for the final Big Four event of the year. Expect major title changes and climactic storylines, but which match will headline? Here are 4 potential main events that could steal the show. Number 1, CM Punk versus Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker's bold move to oust Seth Rollins from the Vision has positioned him as a main event player. With Rollins sidelined by injury and his 2025 feud with CM Punk unresolved, Breaker could step into the spotlight. Punk is set to face Jey Uso for the vacant World Heavyweight Championship at Saturday night's main event on November 1st. If Punk wins, Breaker might challenge him at Survivor Series, or he could cost Punk the title and spark a personal rivalry. Either way, this clash of a veteran and a rising star could headline. Number 2, Team Vision versus Team Punk War Games match. Survivor Series' signature War Games match could pit the Vision, led by Breaker and Bronson Reed, against a team captained by CM Punk. With Paul Heyman's guidance, the Vision might recruit heels like the New Day or the Judgment Day to fill their ranks. Punk could rally babyfaces like LA Knight, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, and a returning Rey Mysterio, especially fitting since San Diego is Mysterio's hometown and he's featured on the event's poster. This star-studded War Games bout would be a chaotic, crowd-pleasing main event. Number 3, Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns. Jey Uso's shift toward a heel persona, influenced by Roman Reigns' advice to prioritize himself, took a dark turn when he eliminated his brother Jimmy in Raw's Battle Royal on October 20th, 2025, to earn a World Heavyweight title shot. Jimmy's frustration and Reigns' absence since Crown Jewel suggest the Tribal Chief could return to side with Jimmy, leading to a singles match against Jey at Survivor Series. Alternatively, a fully healed Jey could challenge Reigns for the Tribal Chief mantle, making this family feud a compelling headliner. Number 4, Undisputed WWE Championship, Cody Rhodes vs. Randy Orton. WWE has been teasing a Randy Orton heel turn for months, and signs point to the Viper embracing his darker side soon. If Triple H pulls the trigger, Orton challenging Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship could be the main event. Their long-built mentor-protege story, combined with Rhodes' recent heelish actions, like causing a DQ against Drew McIntyre, makes this a blockbuster worthy of closing Survivor Series. The emotional stakes and star power would make it the night's biggest draw. Which match will Triple H choose to headline Survivor Series 2025? With these options, the stage is set for an unforgettable showdown. Randy Orton is headed for a heel turn. Randy Orton has been a fan favorite since teaming with Matt Riddle in 2021, a stark contrast to his villainous reign in the 2000s when he clashed with heroes like John Cena and Daniel Bryan. But recent hints suggest the Viper is slithering back to his darker side. Here are 3 signs that the 14-time world champion's heel turn is imminent. First, Orton's hunger for a 15th world title is undeniable. He challenged Cena for the undisputed WWE Championship earlier this year in St. Louis, but came up short. During Cody Rhodes' first title reign, fans noticed Orton lingering a bit too long while eyeing the gold, a subtle clue that the championship is consuming his thoughts. Though he hasn't attacked his friend Rhodes, who reclaimed the title at SummerSlam, the tension is brewing. Second, Orton's loyalty to Rhodes hasn't been reciprocated. Since moving to SmackDown, the Apex Predator has put himself on the line for the American Nightmare, notably during Rhodes' feud with Kevin Owens, where Orton suffered a severe injury last November. Yet, Rhodes hasn't matched that support for his mentor and former Legacy teammate. Orton could snap, realizing he's been taken for granted, and turn heel by attacking Rhodes, calling him out for not having his back. Finally, the mysterious attack on Jacob Fatu points to Orton. On the October 17, 2025, SmackDown Fatu was set to face Drew McIntyre in a number 1 contenders match for Rhodes' title, but cameras found Fatu bloodied backstage under production equipment. Rhodes accused McIntyre, who denied it, leaving Orton as a prime suspect. As a babyface, Rhodes is unlikely to have attacked Fatu to dodge a defense. If Orton is revealed as the culprit, it could trigger his heel turn, setting up a title feud with Rhodes and elevating Fatu in a rivalry with both. Fans have been craving a Rhodes-Orton showdown for months, and with these signs, Triple H seems poised to unleash the Viper's dark side. Dani Palmer and Mandy Rose fight for who started the WWE-to-OnlyFans trend. Mandy Rose has turned her 2022 WWE release into a lucrative venture through OnlyFans, but her claim of starting the trend has sparked a feud with former WWE star Dani Palmer. On the Refinery Movement podcast, Palmer pushed back against Rose's recent podcast episode titled, "I started the WWE-to-OnlyFans trend," arguing that glorifying the platform overlooks its deeper impact. "I'm here to talk about the trend of WWE release talent going to OnlyFans. The OnlyFans route, unfortunately, has become way too normalized when in reality, it has a very strong impact on your soul, and it's a serious thing. It seems that one girl has become the trailblazer for this route. She even called herself that in her last podcast titled, I started the WWE to OnlyFans trend," Palmer said. Palmer, who founded the Refinery Movement to offer job opportunities for released WWE women, revealed she faced backlash for promoting alternatives to OnlyFans. "My friend and ex-coworker messaged and unfollowed me after I posted job opportunities for any recently released WWE girls thinking about joining OnlyFans, inviting them to come work at the Refinery Movement instead. She said, 'Girl, people can believe in God and do as they please with their own bodies. This is truly in poor taste. Unfortunately, gonna unfollow for this. Strange. Take care," Palmer shared. The clash highlights a divide among former WWE talent navigating post-wrestling careers. While Rose embraces her OnlyFans success, Palmer calls for accountability, emphasizing spiritual and moral considerations over financial gain. As this debate heats up, it raises questions about legacy and choices in the wrestling world. Will more stars weigh in on the WWE to OnlyFans trend, and can Palmer's movement shift the narrative? Mustafa Ali's TNA contract is set to expire. Mustafa Ali's future is up in the air as his TNA wrestling contract is set to expire in December 2025. The former WWE star has been a key figure in TNA throughout the year, leading the Order 4 faction and shining in high-profile moments like the WWE X TNA NXT Showdown crossover. Ali confirmed his TNA deal in an interview with Sports Illustrated's John Alba, but Fightful Select reports that he's now considering his options as the contract nears its end. He's keeping his options open, a source close to Ali said, suggesting he's not committed to staying with TNA long-term. Ali's crossover appearance on WWE NXT earned him rave reviews backstage, with NXT executive Shawn Michaels reportedly remaining a big supporter. Insiders from both WWE and TNA believe there's a real chance for Ali to return to WWE full-time if the timing and circumstances align. With his contract expiring soon, Ali could spark a bidding war or find himself back in WWE, where he made his name. Will he stick with TNA to continue leading Order 4, or is a WWE comeback on the horizon? The wrestling world is watching to see where the beacon lands next. Andrade shuts down a seriously scary rumor. Andrade El Idolo was forced to address a wild and baseless rumor tying him to criminal activity. A fan posted on X, spreading a reckless claim with no evidence. "Gonna be wild for me to say this. This is allegedly coming from me, but is it crazy to think Andrade may be involved in some Mexican cartel business or nationwide crime scheme? Something big is going on here. The pro wrestling world is no stranger to rumors, but this one crossed a line, prompting a swift response from Andrade himself. He took to X to shut it down, writing, "What? Tranquilo, amigo? Will everyone please stop making things up?" The rumor appears to stem from confusion, with U.S. Department of State and Treasury reports mentioning individuals named Andrade linked to Mexican drug trafficking, none of whom are the wrestler known for his runs in WWE, AEW, and back to AEW. Andrade, a beloved star, is focused on his in-ring career, not criminal activity. As he continues to navigate the wrestling world, he's clearly determined to keep his reputation clean and squash any fake stories that surface. Will more rumors pop up, or can Andrade stay focused on his craft? The wrestling world is watching. Why John Cena's final match isn't sold out yet. John Cena's farewell tour is down to its final 4 appearances, with his last match set for Saturday night's main event on December 13th at the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C., marking the end of his iconic 2-decade career. On a recent episode of Legion of Raw, inside sources revealed surprising details about the event's ticket sales. Despite massive interest, the show hasn't sold out, and the reason lies in the numbers. Cena's last match just went on sale. This is really interesting, man. The arena seats 20,000 people. When tickets go on sale and you go online, you gotta wait in this waiting room, and they're counting down the time, and when the time is up, you get your tickets. So bro, it's a 20,000 seat arena. 57,000 people were in the waiting room. Bro, they nowhere near sold it out. You know what happened, bro? It's your turn in the room. How many tickets do you need? I need 3 tickets. Okay. $4,500. You can't have 57,000 people with the intent of buying tickets and you sell less than 20,000, the source explained. The sky-high ticket prices are pricing out even the most dedicated fans, despite the huge demand for Cena's final bow. Coming off a show-stealing classic against AJ Styles at Crown Jewel in Perth, Australia, anticipation is high for who the Cenation leader will face in his last match, possibly Gunther or Dominic Mysterio, as reports suggest. Will Triple H adjust pricing to fill the arena, or will Cena's farewell play to a half-empty house? The wrestling world waits to see how this historic night unfolds. The Rock doesn't matter anymore. The ship has sailed. The Rock's potential WWE comeback is losing its shine, according to a former WWE head writer. As a TKO Board of Directors member, the final boss made waves earlier in 2025, appearing during WrestleMania season and masterminding John Cena's heel turn at Elimination Chamber. However, he's been absent from WWE TV since, and on a recent Legion of Raw episode, inside sources claimed the window for a big return has closed. I just have to tell you because I just keep seeing a lot of this. I gotta tell you guys, honestly, if that ever happened, by the time you got there, I don't think people are gonna care anymore, bro. I really don't. You guys see the weekly numbers? It's about to go under 1 million. They're always gonna have that million. But the longer this goes on, I don't think people are going to care. You gotta understand too, The Rock with politics and Oprah and all that stuff got a lot of bad press. Rock turned a lot of people off, guys. So many people put so much stock on Rock. I'm telling you, that ship has sailed, man, the source said. The source pointed to falling viewership numbers and The Rock's recent negative publicity tied to his political ventures and associations as reasons fans may no longer care. With Cena and The Rock's storied history, headlining WrestleMania 28 and 29, fans have hoped for one final clash, especially with Cena's retirement looming at Saturday night's main event on December 13th, 2025. But will Triple H bring back the final boss for a last showdown, or has The Rock's absence and controversies sunk his WWE relevance? AJ Lee confirms major appearance amid her WWE absence. AJ Lee, a former WWE Divas champion, has been absent from WWE programming since her stunning return at WrestlePalooza in September 2025, but she's making moves outside the ring. After teaming with her husband CM Punk to defeat Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch in a mixed tag team match at the Premium Live event, many expected Lee to target Lynch's Women's Intercontinental Championship. However, she hasn't appeared on WWE TV since. Amid her absence, Lee took to Instagram stories to confirm a major appearance in Los Angeles for a signing of her book, Day of the Dead Girl. She encouraged fans unable to attend to grab a copy, writing, "If you can't make the LA signing, you can still get a copy of our book here, magmacomics.com. A recent Wrestling Observer newsletter report from Dave Meltzer suggests Lee could return before Survivor Series 2025 on November 29th in San Diego, potentially joining Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, and Sky in a women's War Games match against a heel team featuring Becky Lynch, Asuka, Kairi Sane, Nia Jax, and Lash Legend. While nothing is confirmed, the buzz around Lee's next WWE move is growing. Will Triple H bring her back for a blockbuster War Games showdown, or does the creative team have other plans for the beloved star? Fans are eager to see what's next for AJ Lee. Braun Strowman breaks silence on his real-life issue with Paul Heyman. Braun Strowman recently opened up about a social media spat with WWE Hall of Famer Paul Heyman, shedding light on their unexpected clash. Ahead of Roman Reigns' match against Bronson Reed at Crown Jewel 2025, Heyman praised the Vision's attack on the OTC at Clash in Paris, claiming he'd never seen anyone dominate Reigns like Reed and Braun Breaker did. Strowman took offense, firing back on X by pointing out he'd similarly overpowered Reigns during their past rivalry and taking a jab at Heyman, calling him Oswald Cobblepot. Heyman hit back, saying he didn't even know Strowman was still alive and that no one cared about him anymore. On TMZ's Inside the Ring, Strowman downplayed the beef, claiming his tweet wasn't aimed at Heyman and joking about the misunderstanding. "I keep getting this tweeting with Paul Heyman. I never even talked about Paul or acknowledged Paul. I don't know why he got so upset and came at me, especially because he gets to see my face every commercial break on SmackDown. And let's be for real, if anybody knows about me having a show about ordering everything on the menu, you think Paul would know," he said. Strowman added, "I have no idea why Heyman wrote what he did about me. I guess I struck a nerve or something. I don't know. I didn't deliberately, intentionally mean to talk to him or any of that stuff. I don't know what's going on, and maybe he's just sensitive or something, or maybe he misses me. That's probably what it is. I think the ratings are struggling a little bit, and they realize that when the monster's on TV, he draws ratings. So who knows?" Despite reports hinting at a WWE return, Strowman debunked them on the In the Click podcast, urging fans to ignore dirt sheets. He emphasized his focus on acting, with 4 movies lined up for 2026 and talks for several TV shows. "Don't believe the stuff you hear on these dirt sheets, because none of them are true. You'll see me when I feel like letting you see me when it comes to that. But I'm really focused right now on the food space. I've got 4 movies that I'm attached to next year. I'm in talks with 4 or 5 other television shows," he said. Will the monster of all monsters return to WWE to settle his score with Heyman, or is he set on carving a new path outside the ring? Only time will tell what's next for Strowman. WWE needs to end the Bloodline Saga. The Bloodline Saga, centered on the Anoa'i family, Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa, and others, has been a cornerstone of WWE's modern era, delivering cinematic storytelling, emotional depth, and shocking twists for nearly 5 years. However, with growing criticism that the storyline has overstayed its welcome, it's time for WWE to wrap it up to refresh its narrative landscape. Here's why the Bloodline Saga needs to end. First, the saga has hit a creative wall. Spanning over half a decade, it's cycled through betrayals, power struggles, title reigns, and faction shakeups, but now feels repetitive. Whether it's the ongoing tension between Reigns and Jey Uso on Raw or Solo Sikoa expanding his own faction, the story keeps revisiting familiar themes of family, loyalty, and control. Without new ideas, WWE risks losing fans' interest if it drags on further. Second, the Bloodline's dominance stifles the roster. Reigns, the Usos, and Sikoa have hogged main event spots on weekly shows and premium live events, leaving little room for others to break through. Rising stars struggle to crack the world title picture because the Anoa'i family commands the spotlight. Ending the saga would open doors for underutilized talents, spreading opportunities across the roster and addressing fan frustration over limited pushes. Finally, the saga's peak. Reigns' Tribal Chief run from 2020 to early 2024 was a storytelling masterpiece that's unlikely to be topped. The current arc, with Jey Uso leaning into a narcissistic persona mirroring Reigns, feels like a weaker echo of that golden era. Continuing risks falling short of delivering a satisfying payoff. WWE should close this chapter and craft fresh stories to keep the product exciting. Will Triple H pull the plug on the Bloodline Saga to make way for new rivalries? Or will the Anoa'i family's grip on WWE persist?